All right, y'all. Now I know everybody's not going to be into this video, but there was a person, maybe one or two people that asked me about getting deeper into the settings with the Vivo X-Note. Now, of course, right before I was going to do it, I ended up getting really sick, and I was sick for about 3 weeks. But then, I think maybe a couple weeks ago, I started looking at the settings and thinking about what I'm going to get into. And this thing has so many settings. It was literally giving me a headache. So listen, I'm not going to get into everything that this thing offers and can do. I just can't. It's just too much. And most people, attention span is very, very short. So most people ain't going to stay with me that long anyway. But for those individuals that ask me to do this, I'm doing this for y'all, just so y'all know. Okay. I'm gonna try to make this quick, but it's hard because this thing, it's just so many settings. It's just so many. It's overwhelming. So let's get started. So this is, my video for getting deeper into the settings with the Vivo X-Note. All right, so let's get started, y'all. So first, let's get into, and I hope you can see it relatively well. I got the font size up as big as I can. Now, really, I didn't do that for you guys. I did it for me because, my eyes ain't what they used to be. All right, so some things we're going to skip over. So Bluetooth, we're not going to get into that. Mobile network, all that. Connections, no. Let me see. Notification. Now, you do have off screen. You have lock screen. You have status bar. Gives you that up there. And you have home screen. So you can make all of these different changes. Now, keep in mind, this is a Chinese ROM. For those of y'all that want to know, it's not the global ROM. All right, display settings. You can get it to show on the off screen, show on the lock screen, show on the home screen, show in the status bar, show in ultra game mode. All right, origin notification tone, that's on. Origin notification scenario settings. I'm not sure what that. Oh, now this stuff really is going to work better, overseas as opposed to here. They got, you get notifications if you got a train ticket, flight ticket, meetings, movies, express, something cab, and this stuff really doesn't work so much in this country. But you got messages. You can turn on for weather, recorder, sports, medication, healthcare, ultra game, app store, Bluetooth, printing, focus mode. It's just so many settings. So many. Now this is what you'll get from the origin notification if you're using that, as opposed to using a third party, like Nova Launch or something like that. So there's all your app notifications showing real network speed. I got that up there. You can't see it, but I'm showing real network speed. Battery percentage outside the battery icon. Of course, I got that. If you can see that up there, it says 99%. Of course, you can turn that off if you want. You can say do not display at all outside the battery or inside the battery. I think outside the battery is better because you can see it a lot easier. Of course, let me see. That's notification method, origin. Says original icons, so I'm using original icons. All right, let's come out of that. Display and brightness. So I got it at 100% brightness. You can use auto brightness. They do have eye protection. I'm currently using dark mode, but of course you can change it. Now you could actually go in here. See, it's just so much stuff. Actually, you can go in here. I got it where it's always on. You can go in there and just turn it off. You can have it come on auto, so you can have it just be dark at night, and then on regular mode, day mode in the daytime, you could change that. I got it. You could change the shade, so you can have it be less dark just by scaling this back. It won't be as dark, but of course I want it super dark. You could dim wallpapers in dark mode. Third-party app management. You can go in there. You can change some things, customize whether third-party apps adapt to the system and switch to dark mode. Apps not adapted to dark mode will not appear in the list. So even with third-party apps, you can make adjustments. Let's talk about dimming the wallpaper in dark mode, so we're not going to get into that. Okay, auto lock. I got it set for 10 minutes. Of course, you can change that to 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I always leave it at 10 minutes because I really enjoy looking at the display because the display is beautiful. Portrait orientation, orientation lock. So basically I could have this locked in portrait mode. Of course, I don't do that because when I change to landscape mode, I want the, the home screen to change to, what you call it, landscape mode. So I won't, but if you don't, you can lock it. Font style, font size, display size. Now you can change the font style. Now you're not going to do this on this unless you living in China, because this all in Chinese and I can't read that. So I don't mess with that. Font size, of course, you could change. I got it all the way up at maximum. That's why everything is so large and you can see everything so well. Display size, of course, I got that large. I want everything large. It just makes it a lot easier for me to see, but you can change it to larger, standard, small, and then smallest. But I got everything large. I want to be able to easily see everything. Now you get the screen colors right here. You got your standard, default, professional, and you got bright. I like everything bright, so that's what I'm using, but you do have other choices here. Now you also have adapt to ambient light temperature. You could turn that on. I got it turned off. Of course, you can go cooler to warmer. I got it in the middle. You can restore all your defaults. Now, screen resolution. Of course, I got it at Quad HD. Now, you can set it where it has smart switch, so automatically select most appropriate screen resolution according to actual usage scenario and system power consumption. So you can use smart switch where it'll decide when to use the Quad HD and when not to use it. Me, no. I paid my money for this. I always wanted on Quad HD. That's me. But now this does save a little power, but you don't have to do that. You can actually just scale it down to 1080p, saves power. But let me be honest with you. You do not have to scale anything down on this phone because the battery life on this phone is crazy. Now, with moderate to heavy, I told y'all in my full review, I can get 2 days. Okay? 2 days of battery life. So use your phone in Quad HD resolution. Of course, it's going to be clear, 2K clearer. So let's come out of that. Screen refresh rate. Of course, I got it at 120. You can also do smart switch with that also. You can scale it down to 60 hertz, or you can keep it at 20 hertz all the time. Visual enhancement. Now I got it turned on. It says optimize the color and contrast of some pictures for more vivid display effects using this feature, but it will increase battery consumption. That's not an issue, like I said, because the battery is such, in beast mode status. You don't have to worry about that. Use your visual enhancement, make everything look better. Now, only thing about it, it's only good with YouTube, Netflix, and Prime Video. iVideo is, I guess, if you live overseas, in China, that doesn't work, here. But YouTube, Netflix, and Prime Video, you're going to get a much more, you're going to get a better picture. So you're going to get a much clearer and sharp video. When you're watching video content, it's going to look really, really great. Full screen display of apps. That's no big deal. Display at the top of the screen. We don't have to go into that. Not important. Always on display. Always on display. I got it on all the time. Here's your different styles. You got different styles in here you could choose from. Origin styles. You got all these different ones. Personalized styles. You got these. Some of these are digital. I'm using this one currently. But you got other ones you could, choose from. You got sensory clock. Personalized stickers. Digital clock. All types of different digital clocks you can use. Analog clock. You got a few of those. And you could put a signature. Off-screen tools. You can use a calendar. So you do have some options with the always on display. So it's not, just one always on display like you do on the Pixel. You do have some options. You can customize it. Now I got it set for all day mode, but you could change it, move the phone slightly to display it. You can schedule when it always on display comes on, or you can keep it on all day. I keep it on all day. Why? because it ain't gonna do nothing to the battery. The battery, like I said, you're not gonna have issues with the battery. You're not gonna get any battery anxiety with this phone unless something's wrong with your unit. Of course, the notifications. Now, the only thing that I don't like about the always on display in Vivo phones, the only notifications you're gonna get on the always on display is a missed call and text messages. That's it. And that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean, it's not a big deal for me only because it's not my main phone. But it might be a big deal for you. I can't say. All right. Let's go to home screen. So with your home screen settings, you got different styles you can use. Here, if you want, you can use standard or draw style or drawer style. I'm using drawer style. Home screen layouts. Of course, you could change the layouts. How you want it, 4x6, 4x7, 5x9. I'm using 5x9. All right, sliding effects. What that means, I'm using the barrel, as you can see. That's my favorite. But you can change it. You got, let me see. You got this one called turnover. Let me see. This is something that Samsung should have, a function they should have on their phones that they don't have. Let me see. Turn the page. I like that one. Let me see. You got the cube. You got another cube here. Carousel. You got that effect. You got rotate. You got press. You got jumping. I forgot what that one's called. Super something. You got fading. You got I think that's transition or translation or something. So you got all of these different ways you could change how, when you're scrolling through your home screen, going from screen to screen, you got all these different ways you could change it. Now, just the barrel is just my favorite. I just love this. So we'll go back to that. So let's get back into the settings. All right. So I just went over lock screen. Let me see. That was home screen. Okay, I don't think I finished in there. Okay. So I did always on display. Of course, you can go into themes, but like I said, this is the Chinese ROM. I went into more themes. Everything is in Chinese, so I can't read anything. So I don't mess with the themes at all. Wallpapers. Of course, you're just going to get a few. You want more, it's going to be in Chinese, or you're going to have to pay for them. But you do get a couple of live wallpapers. You don't get that many though, but you get about 4 of them. Now, like I said, you go down here to more. Everything's going to be in Chinese. You're not going to be able to read this. So just use your own wallpapers. I would say that. Just get your own. All right, simple mode. You can put it in simple mode. Now, I'm not going to mess with this again. I turned this on, and man, it was so hard to get back to my normal display. Like, it was really hard to find how to get back to this, and I was so frustrated. So I don't mess with this, but it looked like a Windows type of layout, but I don't fool with simple mode. So it's up to you. I don't fool with that no more. System style. Of course, you got these different styles you can set up. The UI for your phone, different colors. You want it rounded, square, mellow for your icons. Change the system style with themes. You can do that. Okay, let's come out of that. And I think we finished with that. Yeah, we just finished with that. So dynamic effects. Now, this is something that actually matters to me. I like this. Samsung also should be adding stuff like this to their phones to make it a little bit more exciting to me. Interface dynamic effects. So you can reduce the dynamic effects. You could do real-time blur. You could do motion blur. Home screen transition animation. Now, this is currently what I'm using now. This one, see how it goes back and forth? How it just looks super smooth? That's my favorite. You got this one too. You can use this one. It's pretty much the same as the one I was using, but it's just a tad bit faster. Then you got efficient. That moves a lot faster. See how fast that moves? But something about this one, it's slower, but it feels silky smooth when you use it. So I'm gonna stay with that one. But I like that one. So that's basically you could change the effects, how when you're going in and out of the home screen, you could change that. I like that. Samsung should give you options like that. All right, let me see. Home screen entering animation after unlock. So that's another difference here. So this is the one I'm currently using right now. As soon as my phone opens, that's the animation that you're going to get. Now you change it to this. It's called fly out. That's how it's going to look. You got fly in. That's how it's going to look. And of course, you got this one. Now, I think I'm going to go back to that one. So you got that. So I like these different animations you could do. Lock screen fingerprint icon animation. Let's go into that. So, of course, they only give you 3. They give you this square one, and they give you this round one. But I prefer this one. All right, let me see. Fingerprint recognition. Okay, you get a little bit more choices with this one. Now, the one I just showed you was for the lock screen. Like when you first lift up your phone, that's how it's going to look in the lock screen. But right, when you press it, these are the animations you have. These are the options. You have, let me see. That's how it's going to look. You could change it to that. You could change it to that, which I think is boring. This one is okay. This is probably my favorite one. And let me see. You got this one. You got this one. Well, I don't know why it didn't. Okay, I don't know why that one didn't start. Oh, there it is. It came in late. So let me go back. So that's that one. That one you might like. Now, keep in mind, these are in Chinese at the bottom, so I don't know what they're called. And you have that one. Say continue playing animation even after unlocking. So I like that. So I'm going to go back to this one. That's my favorite. All right. Face recognition animation. See, you got an animation for everything. And that's what I like. Samsung, give us more options. So that's the one I'm currently using. They only give you 2. And that's the one you could use, face recognition animation. I like that one. It's just a little bit more animated for me. Ambient light effect. So, of course, it says set the time range for the ambient light effect. I have it off. Ambient light effect will display for a while when music is playing and the screen is off. Power consumption may increase. I got it turned on. I'm only using it for a minute. I got it selected. Music apps all selected. Music light effect, musical waves. That's what you'll see when I play the music. Incoming calls, you can have it set up for that. And you can have it set up for notifications. I have both of those turned off. Now, you even get a charging animation. Okay? Something that you don't get with Samsung. Now, let me show you the different charging animations. This is the one I'm currently using. When you charge, let me stick the charger in there just to show you. So you can see it, even bigger. See it? See, Samsung's, everything is just so boring and dry with them. Like, you don't get nothing, man. It just bothers me, but it is what it is. So you get that one. You can change it to this one. You can use this one. You can use this one. They give you quite a few choices. You can use this one, or you can use this one. Now, that one and probably this one is my favorite. Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry. They got some more. So you got this, which is nothing. You got that one. And you got that one. This is the one I'm using currently. Because it's a little faster, a little more animated than this one. This one is nice, but it's just slow. I just want the pace picked up a little bit more, so I use that one. So all those different animations, okay, charging animation. Now you got USB insertion animation. So as soon as you insert your the charge the phone, you get an animation for that too at the bottom. See that one right there? You get that one. You can use this one, and that's the one I'm currently using. So you get 3 different choices. So you can change it 3 times for that. Screen off and on animation. You even got that. So that's the way it'll look. That's the one I'm using now. That's the natural one. And this the vertical one. So even the way the phone turns off and on, you're going to get a different animation for that. Other dynamic effects. So you can do the mood cube video style, the weather backgrounds, or the origin player. All right. Sound vibration and silent switch. So vibrate when silent. Yes, I want that on. Vibrate when ringing. I want that on. Vibrate intensity. Of course, I got it on high on both, so I'll know when somebody's calling me. Global silent mode. You can have that where it switches. Let me say, use the volume buttons to adjust the media. Of course, you can do that. Media right here, I got that down. I want that up. Ringtone, notification, alarm, volume adjust per app. You can do that, but I got that turned off, so everything will be even. You got focus mode, where you can incoming calls, messages, notifications for which allow interruption is not turned on will be muted. All right, incoming calls, depending on what your ringtone is set. I got this one set, even though my ringtones are never really on. Well, yeah, right now you can't hear anything because I got everything on vibrate, so you're not going to be able to hear anything. You can change all of these different settings when it comes to sounds and vibrations and things like that. Screen lock sound, screen capture tone, message sent tone, built-in input, message key, global deletion tone. There's just so much, y'all. Haptic feedback, I got that up high. Haptic feedback for system navigation, I got that turned on. Earphone hearing protection, you can use that. It's so much. I can't go over all this stuff. Sound quality and effects, you may care about that. You got sound quality organization, audio super resolution. I got that turned on because I want the best sound that I could get out of my USB Type-C port, which I love. Of course, I got it on hi-fi. I got everything turned on for hi-fi. Listening experience customization. You got your earphone adaptation. I got that turned on. Ear customization, depending on your age. Now, I'm above 60 years old, so I have it on that. You can use between 30 and 60 or under 30. Now, Samsung has something like this in their on their phones too, where you could adapt as far as your age, or you could do a custom sound effect. You could do that too. Excuse me. All right. Of course, you got super audio. So super audio will automatically optimize the sound quality of your phone speaker. This feature works only when the speaker is playing sound. So you can use smart. You can use movies, games, or music. I use smart, so it'll automatically change depending on what I'm doing. And mobile, I don't know what that is. All right, so let's come out of this. System update, we don't have to mess with that. Jovi, no, Jovi don't work with us. System navigation, basically you can use full gestures, classic 3 buttons, or your navigation keys. You can see them. Of course, I'm using full screen gestures. So you do have the option. Let me see. Fingerprint face password. All right, so you can, go in here and, set up your fingerprint, set up your face unlock. You got smart unlock, and you got privacy and app encryption. So you can basically encrypt every app, but you don't want to do that because if you do that, you won't get your notifications. So let me just tell you that again. So when it says privacy and app encryption, you don't want to go in here and encrypt. You don't want to encrypt your apps, because if you go into app encryption and you turned all these on, you're not going to get any notifications at all. So leave this off. Don't mess with this, because that's what I did when I first got this, and I couldn't get no notifications, and I ain't know why. So I figured it out on my own that I had all my apps encrypted, so I couldn't get any notifications. So make sure that you keep that turned off, because I think somebody asked me that in the comment section. So don't mess with app encryption. Leave that alone. All right, so that's it for that. Ultra game mode. Now, I can't really tell you much about this mode because I don't play games, but you could turn that on. You got your game sidebar, game supported by sidebar, whatever that is. Personal center, bot mode. I'm not in the game, but special effects. You got cool light effects that you'll get, I guess, if you play the game. 4D game vibration, game countdown. Optimize experience, game companion. There will be words of encouragement and reminders in certain scenarios. Sound effects and qualities, you could adjust those. Game picture-in-picture, eagle eye enhancement, frame interpolation, frame rate priority, block notifications, which is what you want to do when you're playing a game. You don't want to be disturbed by getting notifications when you're playing games. You can mute your calls, screen, mistouch prevention, network stability, network accelerator, and all this other stuff. It's just a lot, y'all. That's why I said it's just too much. Shortcuts and accessibility. I don't even know what all this stuff is. Super Pocket. I don't know what Super Pocket Services is. You got S Capture, multitasking, smart motion, quick action, easy touch, case action, face beauty for video calls, flash notifications, task timer, mistouch prevention that keeps you from, getting a lot of accidental touches. I got it turned on because this screen is, slightly curved. All right, one-handed mode, of course, you could, turn that on, but I think that's for something else. Accessibility. So you got talk back. I got it off. Select to speak, text to speech output, extra dim, magnification, color correction, color inversion, large mouse pointer, remove animations, Vivo score reader, Vivo voice, accessibility calls, mono, auto balance. I got it right in the middle. Accessibility menu, auto click, timing, screen touch, time to take action, accessibility, and download services. So, like I said, it's a lot of stuff in here I'm not even using. Of course, remote assistance, I don't even know what that is. I'm not fooling with that. Of course, you can factory reset and erase all data. All right, system management. Okay, you got about phone. You could, learn what exactly your specifications is for your phone. Also, I don't think I covered that, but you can add virtual RAM to this phone. I added 8 gigs. So that gives me a lot of RAM when I'm using this phone. So, you could add RAM, but it's going to take up some storage space. Just keep that in mind. All right. So you got control center, which I don't mess with this. I don't even know what this does. This is merge control center and notification center. Swipe down from the top of the screen to open control center. I got that turned off. All right. Recent apps. You can blur the display, blur the display of private content. I guess I got that turned on. Download management, no download history. Multi-turbo, I'm not sure what that does. Date and time, language, English, input method. Backup and reset, multiple users, so you can have multiple users logged in. AI service engine, Google, developer options. Safe. Now, when it comes to safe, some of this stuff's not going to work. Some of it will. But you got security detection, identify system security risks, which is good to have that. See, right now it's scanning my network, scanning system vulnerabilities, Trojan viruses, counterfeit apps. It scans all this stuff to make sure it keeps your phone safe and keep it healthy. And if something's wrong, it's going to let you know. You don't have to, you can stop scanning. Payment safe, ensure payment security when you're making payments using the NFC. Blocking, you can set this up to block harassing calls and text messages. Background pop-ups. It says expose apps which frequently send background pop-ups. You can uninstall or manage these risky apps. Excuse me, when managed, apps will be restricted from running in the background, which can effectively solve issues such as sending frequent pop-up windows and ads. So, you can do something about that as well. App isolation, restrict risky apps behavior. Find, quickly locate your lost device. Of course, in privacy, I don't know what that is. App behavior. You got permission manager, app encryption, password safe, sensitivity, smart privacy, stealth mode, camera access services, microphone access, security input. It's just so much stuff, y'all. I'm telling you, this phone just it'll just give you a headache. All right, RAM and storage. So what I was saying before, as you can see up here, 12 gigs plus 8 gigs. Okay, so that's a lot. That's 20 gigs of RAM. 20 gigs of RAM is what I'm using currently. Now I'm currently using 226 gigs out of 256 gigs. So I still have a good amount of gigage left, to do other things. And it tells you exactly what's using up the most gigabytes. Now, what's using up the most gigabytes on my device is movies, 169 gigs, because I got movies on here. Images is only 395 megabytes, not taking up hardly any space at all. And of course, I got 30 gigs of apps on here. And the system is using 17 gigs. Now, this is something real quick I don't like when they tell you you're getting 256 gigs of storage, which you're not getting because the system has to use a certain amount of gigage to run the phone. So I wish these places would stop lying to us about how much gigs they're giving us when they're not giving it. Now, if you're going to advertise 256, I want 256 to use. Add that other gigage to cover what the system is going to use. I just get tired. I hate that because you're not really getting what they're saying you're getting. You're not. When it comes to the battery, of course, this is what I currently, have. You can go to battery saver. You can use balance or you can boost it. If you boost it, you're going to use more battery. Super battery saver, you can turn that on. You get even more power. It'll save your battery even more. But like I said, with this phone, you don't have to put on none of this stuff. Background power consumption. You can see what app is using what. More settings here. Always on charging display. Maximum battery capacity is 100%. My battery is still good. It lets me know it's good. I'm optimizing my battery life, which is good. You can turn on wireless charging from here, but you don't have to. It'll click on as soon as you put it on a wireless charger. Auto enable battery saver. You can have that when it gets to a certain percentage, it'll automatically kick in. Auto exit battery saver. You can have that when it's fully charged, it'll exit battery saver. Shorten auto lock screen time. You can turn that on. Reduce screen refresh rate. Turn that down. Also enable dark mode. Got that turned on. Sleep mode and stuff like that. All right. So basically it's saying since the last charge, 40 minutes, that's all I've been using because I had this phone actually turned off. And this tells you how much you're using with all of these systems that you're completely using. If you want more information, view the complete power consumption list. You can turn that on and see everything that your battery's using. Apps and permission. You got your app manager here. Permission management, app clone. You can clone apps. System app settings, recover uninstalled system apps. And pretty much that's it. Accounts in sync. So that's everything, y'all. I mean, seriously, this thing is just so highly customizable. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now, I did this for those two people that asked me. I know most people are probably not going to even watch this video, but for those that did, hopefully I helped you. You learned something about all the other things that the phone can do besides it being, having great performance, great battery life, great photos, great RAM, the typical stuff. So now you know a little bit more things about it that it actually offers. So I hope you give me a big thumbs up when you get a chance to see this video. So thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. Hope everybody out there staying safe and staying well. And I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.